So, first of all, I suppose we should kick off with Birthday Wonderland. Who wants to talk about that, Jem?
I shall do that.
Well, please.
Based on the children's story Strange Journey from the Basement by Sachiko Kashiwaba, Keiichi Hara's Birthday Wonderland, known in some markets simply as The Wonderland, though its Japanese name is actually Basode Wanderando, which immediately makes me sound like I'm making fun of a Japanese saying that English name. It's in fact true.
Sorry, I've just got Engelbert Humperdinck Quando stuck in my head now.
Good for you.
Sorry.
Sorry, but my Engelbert Humperdinck begins and ends with lesbian seagulls, so...
Are there lesbian seagulls in this movie, Drew?
No.
Not that we're aware of.
There is a large bird.
Okay.
Sexual preference undetermined. Yes, but Basode Wanderando is a coming-of-age tale of a young girl bored with the world and unable to appreciate the natural beauty around her. This girl is Akane, Mayu Matsuoka, who is dispatched by her mother to her friend Chi, Anne Watanabe, and her shoppo many stuff. Here she's supposed to pick up her birthday present, though Chi apparently has no idea what she's talking about. Left to her own devices and wandering around the cluttered little building, potentially entirely stalked by Chi having persuaded a poor, ignorant foreign person to trade an artwork for some frippery or modern convenience, like a pack of moist wipes, she notices a lump of dried clay with a handprint in it. Obviously, as we all would, she puts her hand in it, and she finds her hand stuck. Now, rather than turning on a 500,000-year-old planet-sized space kettle, as similar-looking devices have taught us ought to happen, it summons from the shop's basement Hippocrates Masachika Ichimura, a famous alchemist from another world. You mean that famous other world? A nearby world, but it's completely different. The one we see in movies and novels. This thing we call the parallel world, connected to this basement. I've lived here my whole life, first I've heard of it. Hippocrates commands Akane to come with him as her help is needed, and the flighty but bold and adventure-seeking Chi comes along for the ride. They pass to the parallel world through the basement, and come first to a village populated by makers of woolly jumpers and huge, cute yet terrifying spherical sheep. Hippocrates explains to Akane that she's the reincarnation of the goddess of the green wind, and she must help the drought-ridden land. This will involve a long journey, a woolly jumper competition, the prince of the perpetual puddle or something, and an evil skeleton warrior. The plot and events move along largely by jumps of dream logic, which, while fitting in the tried and true did it all happen or was it just a dream story, are as unsatisfying in a film as they are when you're sleeping. Only thanks to being awake, you're immediately aware that they're problematic. We're leaving the town of the nightmare mutton spheres. Now we're in a sandstorm. Now we're in the mountains while an old man waxes lyrical about snowflakes. Now we're driving off a bridge that stops in the middle of a lake and landing on a giant lily pad. Now Akane's cat has appeared as a customs official with an unusual way to demonstrate love.
Naturally.
Why? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark is why. As the reborn goddess, Akane has a destiny to fulfill, but as she is given no instruction at all as to what to do, or why, or what is expected of her, and as she has no agency anyway, it's pretty unsatisfying as a story, and the end result is largely, oh, I guess flowers are kinda neat. In the end, though, Birthday Wonderland is still entertaining and quite funny in places, but it is sorely lacking in the wonder that its title promises, or in any narrative tension whatsoever, very much being all surface, no feeling. However, the animation, if perhaps a little oversaturated, is at least generally pleasing to the eye, so it's by no means a bust, just nothing special.
Scott, did you indulge of Birthday Wonderland?
Yes, and I am broadly in agreement. It's fine, and only just fine. Just about claws its way up there. All the same problems with it just being a bunch of very loosely linked stuff that happens. And I was thinking earlier about how annoying it must be if you're a creator of anime and whenever any specialist subject matter in the West reviews it. Their only point of comparison is like something like Studio Ghibli. So even if you do like a mid-range piece of work, you're going to be compared to the absolute best thing in the field.
Yes,
so,
that's a problem.
Yeah. So I mean, to its credit, I think there are at least a couple of points where it's getting at some of that Ghibli stuff, and the way that some of it looks is frequently really nice, and some of the way it kind of captures little moments of childhood and things like that kind of work. There's little flashes of like the best of the best in there, but like for maybe 20 seconds it's quite long actually. It's 2 hours, I think. This film
about 2 hours, I think.
Yeah. And the rest of it just kind of gets buried away in a bunch of stuff, really. It's just a lot of events that happen with not an awful lot of linking devices between them. And as you say, the main character nominally has zero to no agency in any of it, apart from giving a speech at the end. The ceremony at the end is all very important and never really gets explained. I have no idea what's happening or why it's happening or why birds are suddenly appearing made out of water and all this kind of stuff. None of it's very well explained, is what I'm trying to get at. And its gambit is that you're not going to care about the explanation. You're just going to sit along for the ride. And I think that's maybe a bit patronising. Even I think, this is aimed at a much younger audience than us, no doubt. But I think that's a little bit patronising towards them. It smacks of that whole, well, if we just give them enough pretty pictures, the kids will be entertained. And they probably will be, but it's not high-quality entertainment.
Well, why do birds suddenly appear, Scott? I don't know if the Carpenters have actually explained that. I only know the first verse.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely strongest in the humour. I actually found it really quite funny in quite a few places.
Yeah, there's a lot of charm in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like the sort of like the running gag of Hippocrates at one point gets turned into a fly. And there's wee bits like that, and there's just the way Chi in particular, the way she just sort of doesn't give any reverence to anything.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny, so that carries it for a long way. But it's the lack of any tension in the narrative and any cohesion is a big problem at the end. It's like like I said, it really is dream logic. Just things happen.
Yeah,
you have no idea why it's happening, why they're going where they're going, and how they got where they're going.
Yeah.
Which is a pity, because I've been quite looking forward to it, and it seemed to have fairly well regarded. And I watched it. Oh well, I don't mind having watched it. I would dissuade anyone. It looks nice enough, but it's unremarkable.
Yeah, I agree. I don't feel like I wasted my time watching it, but at the same time, I don't think I could really recommend anyone else do it. You know what I mean? It's just not good enough to really give it a glowing recommendation unless you're a very big anime fan and you just want to see this stuff.
You want to just basically watch everything.
Yeah. Yes. It's certainly not one for the kind of more general audiences like ourselves, I guess, to really get very excited about, I think.
Wonderful.